Good morning, everyone. Today we are on day 29 of, excuse me, the smoke here is worse today than it was yesterday, so bear with me. I may cough every now and then. We are on day 29. The sketch was designed by Laura Cameron Wipfler, I think. You know, I'll have it in the drop-down menu, so if I pronounce it wrong, you can look at it. Okay, we have a double page layout, and she has, what is it, 7 photos. She has 1 large horizontal. She has 3 square, like 4x4s, maybe, or maybe 3x3s, and then she has a large vertical and then 2 smaller ones, and then she has like some scalloped decoration down here and up here, some circular elements, and the title's in the circle. Sorry about that, my husband called. So and then she has a title in a circular element up here, and it's really a cute layout. Oh, and she's got like zigzags here and zigzags in different places. Or rickrack, that's what it reminds me of. Okay, so anyway, I pulled out different papers that I thought I would like with the pictures that I pulled out. And I'm scrapbooking my oldest granddaughter. And I would always make their birthday cakes. And she... Tegan was so easy. It's like, just give me a Barbie cake, and she was real happy with that. Brenda would kind of challenge me, and so anyhow, she wanted a artist cake, and so I did like a painter's palette, and I had some tubes of paint on it, a paintbrush, and then I had a tube of paint coming around the outside with some paint squeezed out of it, and so I've got those, and this is 1 page, and this is what I was going to put it on. So I'm just going to kind of go over my thought process. I had kind of discarded other papers, so I thought, oh, this would be really pretty with her dress. So I pulled these out, and so I'm thinking, okay, I have 2 of these. This is a collection. I had bought a couple of pieces because I couldn't get the rest of it, and then I was able to get some later, so I was able to actually buy I think I was able to buy the whole collection. But anyhow, otherwise I pieced it all together. So this is the basic layout, similar to Laura's. And so anyhow, this is how I'm gonna lay them out. And this is what I was thinking. And then I thought, you know, it's kind of a shame that I'm gonna use the same paper for both sides when I have almost the whole collection still left. So I took these off of here and laid them on another paper, and that's what I'm actually going to do because I loved how that turned out. I mean, these are gorgeous papers, but I thought, oh, I kind of want something different. And anyway, I pulled out these, and these ones, now these ones actually kind of do look like Brenna because of the color of hair and stuff, but I usually cover them up because they're not Brenna or Tegan or whoever I'm scrapbooking. So I usually don't even bother to use them. I end up using the other side. But anyhow, today since I had all these pictures, I laid them out in the same fashion that I had on the other page, and it basically covers the girl with the exception of a little bit of her dress down here. And let's see, I would actually center these because I'm putting it back to the same way that I had it on the other paper. And then this would go over here. And then I think I had this like this. And then this one up here. So because she doesn't have one up here, but I have these photos where she's blown out the candles, And since I printed them, I'm gonna use them. And I know there's a glare on it. I don't know how to get rid of it. I think it's worse when my window's open. Okay, I shut the curtains, but I don't think it made a bit of difference. But anyway, it's like I will be moving one of them. So this is what I decided to go with. I just liked how the elements were that you can still see on the paper. I thought that's really cute. I really like it. So this is what I'm gonna do. And of course I'm gonna do one at a time. So it will be easier for you to look at because I think once I get it in the middle, it's not so glaring. So, okay, so I'm going to get my invisible ruler here and line this up so that this one photo is centered. And I love seeing these little fabrics, or actually it's a drawing, but I like seeing that in the window. So I really love getting to use the different papers, because otherwise it's like you just kind of use the same ones all the time. I mean, I would be using kind of the same. Okay, I think that's centered. I need to look for one of those new rulers that lines up all the way across. Okay, so that's centered there. And I'm gonna have something that overlaps over here, so I'm gonna glue this down right now. I was gonna do it ahead and I forgot. Okay. So normally I'd shy away from using this just because of the person on there. Just because, that's not my kid. Makes me think of the 70s when everything had those people on them that were like silhouetted, or they were, you seen the back of them. I'm thinking how many times we had those. Okay, I'm just referencing my picture now. It is right above there, and I'm gonna do this to make sure it's straight, because that one side of the ruler, it doesn't lay flat. Okay, that's good there. And then I've taken the cake by itself since I had it, and I wasn't going to use this photo, but since there was a circular element at the bottom of the sketch right here, I thought, well, I'm gonna see what I could cut that size and not lose the picture or cut off a head or whatever. And I thought, well, I still have these. So I usually always take a picture of the cake at my house before I take it there, because the trip is like 3 hours, and if anything happens to cake, I would like to say, well, I actually had a cake, sorry. Here's what it looked like before I left the house. So I've got these little pieces. Now I have more here than what I need, because I had extra pieces pulled aside for the way I was going to do it before. So, but I love the elements that are left showing, but I am going to cover up a little bit of this here. And I'm just going to kind of lay it like it is in the sketch, where it just kind of overlaps this photo here. And then I have these little floral elements, and they're kind of curved, so they work well with going around a circle. And so I'm going to I'll play with a few of these little flowers here and kind of overlap them there. I think I'm gonna do that. So I'll be needing my glue again because these are thin, too thin for my tape runner. So I'm just gonna kind of overlap this mat that I put on this. And I just cut this out with my Creative Memories circle cutter. I love that thing. I really want to get the big circle. I put it off, but I keep wanting it. So one of these days I'm gonna get it. Okay, and I'm just these are both the same, but I'm kind of overlapping them so they look a little different. And then I have this little piece, or the little flower. And I'm gonna put that there. And it overlaps the cake, but you know, it's like you're seeing it in all this here. Okay, and then I have one that I'm gonna put on this side also. And then I have these little purple flowers, or leaves, I mean. So I'm gonna tuck one of those in here. And I'm gonna tuck one over here. Now where do I want it? I think I'll stick it about there. And I might stick a dimensional underneath here later. And then I have a single leaf. Do I want to put that here or here? Let's see. I don't know if I want to use that one. It might have been one I didn't plan on using once I figured out that I was going to change the paper up. So I'm going to put a single one here. Okay, and right here there's a bird, and so I've cut a bird out of the element sheet, and I actually have one element sheet that I have not even cut anything out of, and the bird was one of them. So I'm going to glue his feet first because those are not going to be able to get glued once I get it down because they're pretty fragile. And I'm just going to overlap. Now this bird back here is bigger than this one, but this is my option. I only have the one bird that's looking that way, and so I'm just going to overlap it, and you can't tell that it was even bigger, or you know, bigger than that one, so it's okay. Okay, and then I have 12 candles is what I'm going to call it, and I'm just going to put it right here on the sketch. It's over here and in a circle. And at first I did have a circular floral that I was going to use, but I love this where you can see the window and the floral. So I'm just going to pull it just underneath this bird here and put it here. So I'm going to pause a minute and do that. Okay, I have the title there. So it looks like the bird's kind of resting on the one. Now I'm going to do the next one. Oh, and I gotta have my sketch here because that's kind of what I'm working off of. And so this one is going upright, and then these two kind of angle. And again, I'm covering up the person there. Oh, what did I do with my invisible ruler? And I love getting to use all the other elements that are on the page. And you know, it's like you'll get to see the little hat, you'll get to see the, oops, I got all my stuff laying there. You'll get to see the frame. So I'm pulling this over so we can kind of see the hat there. And I'll have her like similar distance from the edge I usually shoot for that. So this will be slightly angled here. And then slightly angled here. And so I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. And that looks pretty close. And then this one up here, she doesn't have a photo there, but I have those photos. So I'm just putting it in place of that circle up there. Even though, look at, there's actually a circle here in the paper. But we're gonna cover that up with these photos. And I could put them over here, but I kind of like the balance of them over here. So that's where I'm gonna put them. And now I have to make sure it's straight. Sometimes I gotta turn it upside down. Okay. I'm gonna bring it down probably about 1 inch. And she's the one who will be graduating soon. So I've been, when I've been working on the different layouts, I go for her things first and see if there's anything that I think will work with the sketch. And so now I've got this beautiful frame here and all the elements that you see around the edges. And I've got this floral that I'm going to put up in that corner, kind of onto that window. And even though you see this here, it's like I'm still gonna add this. Let's see, this is the way I need it to be. And so I'm gonna kind of put it on, you know, the one side, because I still want to see part of this here. And then I have this little floral, and you can see like these flowers here are the same ones that are here. So that's what I'm going to put there, even though this is a smaller piece. Because I was actually, I looked for a bigger piece, but I didn't like how that looked there. So I'm just going to put this here and kind of overlap. Let's see, did I think here? I think I was going to overlap it here. Because sometimes I like to overlap the picture. And I had so many pictures that I even still had some left of these. Because you know, she is the first grand, so I have an overabundance of her photos. Okay, so here's what I've got so far. And then I've chose these kind of a pinky lavender ones because they look very close to her dress, just a little more muted. So I'm going to put some up here, some here, some here, and then probably over here. So we're kind of at an angle here. And I probably would have brought this flower over here, but I'm covering up a little bit of this dress because I'm not really covering it up because you can't tell that it's actually a person. Only me and you guys know. Let me kind of get it back in the center here. Okay. So I'm just gonna, and I love how you can still see this key here. So I'm just gonna put a few in this corner. Let's see, I think I'm gonna bring it over into the flower. And I'm making my little triangle there. And I think I'm gonna put the bigger one over here, and then I'm gonna put like the medium and the small over here. Maybe even overlap the cake a little bit. And then up in here, let's see, where do I want to put them? I think I'll put one here. And I'm going to put one on the other side where it's actually in the window area. And then one up in here. And then I'm going to put it over here kind of at the corner where there's not much of anything. And I got it kind of on the edge there. I'm going to pull it down a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. So, and I'll be able to journal somewhere in here or maybe up in here. Or I could journal over in here. But I kind of like this blank space because every now and then you got to have a little bit of blank space. But I love how it turned out. And I'm glad that it's like I kind of walked away for a few minutes and then thought, well, I kind of would like to have two different papers. So, especially since I'm not really using any other papers. It's just the two papers and embellishments, or the elements, what they call the elements. So, thank you for joining me. Remember that there are other people playing along with the 30 days of sketches. There are YouTubers, and then there are people that are just going to the Facebook link and putting their pictures of their layouts in the comment section, and you can join yourself. And here, I'm gonna kind of do this so you can kind of see it without the glare. And so go over there and check out those, and I will be back here tomorrow, and we'll be doing the last day of the 30 days of sketches. So thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day. There will be close-ups at the end. Bye-bye.